Okay, so again, I want you guys to be using this program, designer.gravit.io. And because vector.com is doesn't give you enough stuff, it's too slow sometimes, so this is actually a better program. And anyway, so let's do a cartoon. Let me see what I have in my cloud. I'm going to look it inside my cloud here, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a cartoon. I guess I don't have the ones that I wanted. So I thought I had a dog in here. Where'd my dog go? I guess I don't have the dog. Um, so I guess this is all we have. So let's work with this. And again, what you're going to do is you got to find a cartoon that has brushstrokes, meaning like this one, this Daffy Duck. You can see that it has a pointy end and a fat middle and a pointy end, and you see it everywhere. You see pointy end, you see pointy end here, fat in the middle. So don't do The Simpsons. Don't do. See, it's got a pointy end there. And let me delete this and start over. And let's do this, right? You know what? I'm going to lower the opacity a little bit more, so it's just oops, unlock it. So I guess you're going to go File, Open, and you open this image, and then you're going to lower the because this is black, right? This is black, but I don't want when if I'm drawing something, how do I know where my black is and the guide is? So this is just a tracing guide. So I want to lower it so that it's kind of like very light, very subtle, very light. Uh, and then I'm going to lock it so it doesn't move. Let's just put a lock on there, okay? And let's not forget to save it. So you go to File, Save to the cloud, and put your last name dash first name dash cartoon. Okay, save that in the cloud. Okay, so now remember we did the brush strokes, and so that's what the exercise of the brush stroke is, because everything you see here has a brush stroke. Look at the eyebrow, look at the smile and the chest, and everything has either a brush, a half stroke, or a quarter stroke, which is an eyelash, or a circle, right? That's basically it. And then remember I told you that uh, that I'm going to zoom in, Control plus to zoom in, hold the space bar to and click and drag. So I have here a curve, so the eyebrow, right? And I said that you only need 3 per half circle. Then I add another one just for the thickness of it, right? So we just click 1 for the end, 1 for the center of the circle, halfway from here to here, in the middle. Go back to the end, and then for the thickness, well, that's the outside of and this is the other side of that, the thickness of it. And I'm going to close that shape, right? Now, if I use my mouse to scroll up and down here on my panels so I can see the fill color. And this thing moves around. When you move too close to the edge, it moves. See that? So I guess I have to do it fast. Go on this side, move fast so that it doesn't scroll. And I'm gonna here's the eyeball, so I don't have to see the white. And then I'm gonna make sure that the magnet is off. That thing, it snaps the thing. It just moves. It doesn't allow you to draw. So I'm gonna select my sub-select or the white arrow. Select those 2 points, and then scroll to where it says Appearance under Joint. Here are the curves, and I'm going to add a mirror curve there. And then now both are selected, so click off on the space so that you can actually select just one and adjust it, make it, what do you call it, tangent. And if you had taken algebra or something like that, this is a parabola, meaning uh, parallel to the curve, on top of the curve, because this is perpendicular, and perpendicular, you see that you get a kink, So you want to be parallel to the curve, and you get a beautiful curve. There it is. That was it. Then scroll back up, give the fill color. You can give it any color, but let's make it all black. And then you can actually just either hide the outline or delete it. Just delete it. There you go. I don't have to deal with it again. So there it is. And you see there's just a bunch of these everywhere. It's just I have circles. 1, 2, 3. Like you're dancing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Select the middle, add a curve. Boom, right? Practically done right there. I'm just gonna leave it because it's, and then get rid of the outline. There it is. Pretty simple, right? Same thing with these hairs. You can see that there's a point here and there's a point here, right? You start at the point, go to the middle, halfway between here and here, halfway. This is halfway right there. And add thickness and close it, right? We did this with the exercise. Select those 2 points with the white arrow and add a curve. It looks pretty good. You can adjust it. Let's see. If you want to make it exact, like that, that looks good. Make it black and get rid of the border. This is the fill, this is the border. I can put a little trash can, I can just delete it. There you go. There's my stroke. You can also, let's see what happens if we copy it. If you use it with the black arrow, you can edit, copy, edit, paste. I can have it, now I can rotate this one and squish it like that. Make it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. End up doing more work than anyway. Well, let's see. You know what? We have to, I can get this top part to, but then the other part I'm gonna have to move individually by selecting this point and moving this here like that. There, I have to adjust it. So you can do that. Well, let's see what happens if we select both of these. And Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And I can just rotate here. And, you know, let's just stretch it out there. Stretch it out here, there. That looks good. Well, you can adjust it, fix the thickness. It went too thick right here. Right there, adjust it. We'll actually move it down to that thickness and then move this one down to this thickness. And then change the center here. Move it down or up. There. And I can select these with the black arrow, because the black arrow selects the entire object and the white arrow selects the points. So I'm going to just Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and then I'm going to rotate this, put it here, and then modify it. Let's see. I can just use my white arrow. White arrow can select just individual points. And I can modify it. Move the center here. There. That's a quick way to do that. And the difference between this eyebrow and this eyebrow is that this side is fat. It's got a fat end, right? So then we're going to do is just add a point where there's a point, top of the circle, and then here where it overlaps the eye, we're going to do one for here and one here for the thickness of this thing here. This is how thick it is. Add another for the thickness and close that point, right? With the white arrow, select these 2 points. Try not to select the ends, because what happens with the ends? Well, I'll show you in a minute. So let me hide the, now that looks pretty weird, right? Hide the fill and try to stay parallel or tangent to the curve. See, this is what happens when you pull too much. That's when you pull, you do the gorilla grip, right? You want to do not such much of a grip there. And this curve is not doing what I want. It's not following this curve. So that means that try not to add too many anchor points, because this is perfect, and that is the center, but this is not quite right. You can add a point here like that and then pull it like that. You can just add a little extra like that. Try not to do too much of that because then you end up with a lumpy line. And I overlap it on top so that see what happens. I fixed this port and then this thing messed up. It's all messed up, so it didn't help. It didn't help at all. I messed it up. That didn't help. I can just shift this. Yeah, that probably better idea, shifting it like that. Okay, so I'm going to make it black and get rid of the outline. There you go. So okay, here's another one that is got two fat ends. So in that case, you would try not to click on the line because it will just add to that other curve. You don't want to add to that curve. So a half circle, one in the middle, one at the end, add the same, trying to follow this thickness right here. One in the middle, trying to add this thickness, and then I can, that one's too thick. That one I can bring it in. Let me hide the fill. Bring it in a little bit. It's not that thick. There. Select the center, add a curve. Look at that, it's perfect. I'm just gonna go make it black and get rid of the outline there, like that. Okay, so let's see that we did that. Now, how do we do this eye? Because you know that the eye is two half circles. You see, it's not a full circle because this is a point right here on the eye. So you would just do end of the circle, half circle, center, between here and here, the beginning and the end, halfway is here, halfway. So you got to always think about a halfway. What's the halfway? What's the center? Thickness, point, right? And then select the center and add a curve. Okay, hide the fill. Now I'm going to adjust the curve because I want, so what you do is you pull it up and you see the blue line that is showing you what your line is going to look like. I can move this one here. So if I pull this one, I can see the blue line that's going to tell me what it's going to look like. So I can just adjust it, pull it. And if you do too much pulling, you go, oh, you do too much, right? Too little, you got it just like Goldilocks, just right, like that. Okay. And fill it with black and get rid of the outline. There you go. So that's one, because, oops, let me make this a little bigger on the top here. Yeah, okay. So let me adjust this one. No, it's like you think you adjust one thing and it messes up the other. Now this is another separate line that goes down here from here to here. Okay, so we're going to just create a thickness and try not to, oops, look what I did. I put it right on, we can put it outside the shape so it doesn't, oops, look at it keeps adding to the shape. I don't want to add it to the shape. Oh, look at the pen. You see the plus? That's when you're going to add to. So if you don't see the plus, then you can move it. You can overlap it later if it, and again, thickness here. Hide the fill so you can see what you're doing. And I'm just going to add it here because I know it's going to want to add. Okay. Then hide the fill and select the middle and add a curve, right? Okay, now it doesn't have a stroke, so if you want to add a stroke so that you can see it, or a border, that's what they call it, a stroke, an outline, or border. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Now, let's say it's not working the way I want, because it looks like I didn't, you see this one's low and this one's outside. You can move this up. By moving this up, you see how it shifts? You see how that line changes like that. I'm going to overlap this like that. I might need to add